So you're looking for some Florida native plant landscaping ideas, and I got you covered. So in this series, we're going from this invasive plant to a whole bunch of native plants in a pretty small space. So it's 4 foot by 8 to 10 feet. We're gonna go through removing that and then putting all the new ones in. So if you wanna check out the whole series, go ahead and click on that card right there. And let's get into it. Let's go and talk about our next plant, the Beautyberry. So the first plant that we're gonna be adding into the area is gonna be the Beautyberry. I have been super excited to add this to my yard for probably over a year. I just haven't been able to figure out exactly where I wanna put it. So now that I was saying this is gonna be a mini Florida native plant garden, I was like, heck yeah, I gotta put in a Beautyberry. So the scientific name of Beautyberry is Calicapa americana. It's also known as the American mulberry. There are non-native types of Beautyberry that are out there that are from somewhere else in the world, so make sure that you get our native Florida Beautyberry. So if you remember from the first video we talked about, one of the goals was to fill this space up, cover this wall, get the shade, and this is gonna be the plant that's gonna do the most of that work. So when it comes to size with the Beautyberry, it can get 3 to 8 feet tall, 4 to 8 feet wide, depends where you live in the state. I live in zone 10A, so it's gonna get on the bigger side for me. And really honestly, with the size of this area that we're gonna do, which is 4 by 10 feet approximately, I could honestly just put in one bush and do the thing I wanted to do, which was my primary goal, which was shade the wall. But like, what's the fun? Right? Like, you're just gonna have one plant? That's boring, right? Who wants that? No, we're gonna cram a whole bunch of plants into this area because, yes, goals, reasons. But what's cool about this plant is that it's gonna meet some of our other things, right? So we talked about, we also wanted to create a mini habitat. And as this gets nice and bushy, right, it's gonna create spaces for birds to hang out and some of our lizards to hang out and bugs to hang out. And then it gets these cute little flowers in it, which eventually turn into berries. And so the butterflies and the bees and all them guys, they like the flowers, so that's cool. And then once we get the berries, the birds love it. And extra bonus, you and I can eat them. Yay! But when I tasted them before, they kind of tasted, not really good. But it's apparently like a Florida tradition to make it into like a jelly jam. So yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. So it makes some food for them, makes some food for us, and gonna create a lot of shade and habitat, which means like all of the goals that I have for the area. But I'm definitely not gonna just let this be because, you know, we want some diversity in this area. And what's the fun of buying one plant when you can buy 6? You know? And a really cool thing about this plant that I've been hearing from the Florida native plant groups is that this helps deter mosquitoes. And if you're like me, the mosquitoes love you and love to bite you all the time. So a plant that's gonna be like, you know, just back out a little bit, just stay a little bit back, I'm totally cool with having. I heard from someone once that like where they're kind of like bushes in the wild, that the deer actually sleep in the middle of the Beautyberries because they help keep the mosquitoes away, which is really neat. And what's also neat is when you touch the leaves, they're very soft, very soft. So it's a very pretty plant. These are looking not as happy. Well, this one's pretty happy. My other one's not as happy at the moment because it needs some water and I just need to get it in the ground so it can get going on growing. So we should get that going. So Beautyberry, definitely consider this to add to your yard. Oh, one other thing you need to know. Okay, so this plant like semi-shade to full sun. So because it's kind of usually more on the edge of woodland areas, right, you're gonna wanna keep more semi-shade. So this is why it's also gonna be closest to the house because that will get the first part of the shading, which will make it happier versus some of the other plants that we're gonna be doing are full sun. And what's great is it's drought tolerant. So, you know, when they start restricting you on using your sprinklers or if you're one of those people who gotta get a hose out, like this one, it's gonna go the distance. It blossoms most of the year, but the berries are usually in the fall time. Stuff. wondering, can it grow in my part of the state? Yes, this plant pretty much natively grows in most of the state and will work in all parts of the state. So that's exciting. Well, unless you live on the beach, then no, because it doesn't like that sandy sand. But for a typical suburban yard, yes, this is a great plant for that. And another thing that you should know is that, in like January, February time, you always want to prune it because that'll help it fill in a lot more. And because I'm trying to reduce the heat on this wall, like I'm going to be doing that. I need to get it nice and dense. One, it'll be great for the little critters. They'll have more protection, but it'll also help, really block that wall in so that we don't get as much sun on it and it's cooler, and yay, good things for all of us. And now that we're gonna have our biggest of big plants in, we gotta go to the next plant, which is gonna be tropical sage. And to make sure you don't miss it, go ahead and like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notification. New videos each week on Friday and sometimes a bonus on Sunday. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye.